Okay, this is reply number 2, and we're looking this time at the statement I've highlighted in red. He calls them brethren. And let me go back. 1 Corinthians 14, starting at verse 1, you'll notice right away who Paul is addressing. The use of nouns, personal pronouns, he, him, and man are used all the way through verse 20. And I've already addressed that in reply number 1, that that doesn't seem to hold a lot of water when you go back to the original Greek and see that the he, him, and man are a part of the English translation, but the original Greek is gender neutral. Go back and look at that if you have any questions. Reply number 1. And here the statement is made, he calls them brethren. And that from this statement seems to indicate that Paul is just talking to the guys. Well, let's take a closer look at that. A closer look at the usage of Strong's number is G Greek 80. And look at the translation of 1 Thessalonians 5:27, just given as an example. I adjure you by the Lord that this epistle be read to all the brethren. If we understand that to mean men, then the Bible should only be read to men. But if you look at another translation, the Good News, I urge you by the authority of the Lord to read this letter to all believers. I would propose that in this particular verse, the better translation of brethren is believers. And the Greek word is adelphos, and it comes from alpha and delphus. Delphus meaning the womb, from the womb. That's what it means. It basically means have this epistle read to all from the womb. And if you take a look at the meaning here, having the same national ancestor, belonging to the same people, a fellow believer united to another by the bond of affection, and we'll look at that later. Christians as those who are exalted to the same heavenly place. These are all possible usages of the word. And of course, it can also mean a brother. Strong's says this, from the same womb, womb mates. Are such adelphos commands only for men? And these are just taken from the words of Jesus in Matthew, and we could go through dozens and dozens of verses like this. But I say unto you, whosoever is angry with his brother, without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. But you can be mad at your sister, I guess. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother has aught against thee, but I guess it's okay if your sister's mad at you. Leave there thy gift at the altar, go thy way, first be reconciled to thy brother. But if it's a female, doesn't matter, no reconciliation is needed. If you salute your brethren only, what more do you than others? Do not even the publicans do so? But saying hi to your female friends is not necessary. I'm not sure if you can take that word brethren and only make it to mean guys. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye? Whereas if women walk around with tree stumps coming out of their eyes, it really doesn't matter, because so much of the Bible is written just for men, if that's the way we want to understand it. 1 Peter 1:22, seeing you have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren. You don't have to love the sisterin, just love the brethren. But look at, that's from adelphos, but it's actually from the Greek word Philadelphia, and very, very closely related. Love of brothers. Brotherly love is Philadelphia. Not sisterly love at all, just the guys. Paul used adelphos 138 times. Are we to understand it always meant guys and it never meant fellow spiritual wombmates or fellow citizens of heaven? And here I give you some examples of it from 1 Corinthians, where we're looking at Paul's writings. I beseech you, brethren, only talking to the guys here, for it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, for you see your calling brethren. And brethren, when I came to you, I came not, he didn't come to talk to the women, he didn't. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual. Again, he's only talking to the guys here. And these things, brethren, I have in a figure transferred to myself. And now I have written unto you not to keep company if any man is called a brother. But if a sister is being spiritually or sexually immoral, I guess it's not a big issue. It's only the guys. I speak to your shame. Is it so that there not be a wise man among you? And again, we could look at the wise man, and is there not one with wisdom? Should be able to judge between his brethren, but we don't judge judge the actions of the sisters. Are not these uses in 1 Corinthians better understood as addressing the church rather than just the dudes in the church? Addressing the fellow citizens of heaven from a common mother? Look at this. And now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, brethren, be not children in understanding. How is it then, brethren, when you come together? Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel. Not talking to the women about the gospel, just the brethren. After all, after that, he was seen of above 500 brethren. I guess we never realized that they didn't count the women, even though on the day of Pentecost they did mention Mary, the mother of Jesus, as one of those. But it was only the guys. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Women would have no interest in that. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be as steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor, women have nothing to do in the kingdom. So this is just talking to the guys. Let no man therefore, and again, you can look up the, let no man therefore despise him, but conduct him forth in peace, that he may come unto me, for I look for him with the brethren. The gathering of the men. But is it possible that these are better understood as being fellow citizens of heaven from a common mother? But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, rejoice, thou barren that bearest not. Break forth and cry, thou that travailest not. For the desolate hath many more children than she which hath a husband. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. In this context, where Jerusalem is the mother of us all, isn't it better to understand that as fellow wombmates? I believe so.